Start streaming, start recording. Time is 8:03 a.m. We'll just call it 8 a.m. because oh, let's see, it's still going. As we last left it, this is where we left off. There's my lovely moderator worrying me sick. I'm not sick. It was just gave me a scare and got a cat, man. What is it? You okay? What's the matter? You okay? You get enough water? Are you hungry? Here's some food. You hungry? What are those dogs barking at? Are you cold? Is that it? Busy morning. Oh. Now it just says off loose sexy guts and organs background. Cox boomstick. Time to go the way of home. Mula. Yeah, Cuckoo's not feeling good anymore again. He's pretty sick. It's just water. What is it? What do you need? What's the matter? Yeah, he's sick again, and I'm afraid it might be feline parvo, though I don't know how he could have been infected with it. Like all the other cats are fine. I'm not sure if he got into something that he wasn't supposed to get into, because this is the second time he's been sick. You're okay. Go lay back down. Go eat and drink. You're fine. Go relax. This is a soda I was drinking from last night. Yeah, I'm not. Don't don't. Well, it's been a morning. Like was worried sick to the point of tears. But I don't want to. I don't want to talk about it because this is make me making me slightly emotional again. But I just want to say, Melody, I love you. and I don't know what I'd do without you. You are the best, absolutely best person in my life right now. And life would be so much more difficult without you by my side. But I'm hoping for some good news. Shoot, I'll even pray for it. I burned some tobacco and cedar, but we don't have any tobacco. But just know that a lot of the stuff I do wouldn't be possible without your help. So I'm glad you're with me. And I love you. I don't think I can say that enough. Spricken says, cha-ching? What, did someone just donate just now? Let's see if that be the case. Because I gotta go, I gotta haul water. I gotta haul drinking water sometime today. We're running low. And I have been expecting a payment from the client. So let us see if this is him. Love. You don't have to send me money. Yeah. Okay. 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 It's okay. I'm not. I'm not sad. I'm just. I'm not sad. I'm just relieved. Because you scared me, love. Thank you. I just ask that you don't scare me like that again. Jeez. Purple hearts are worth 50 red ones. So I see you, purple hearts, and I raise you one. Okay. No, I just can't send you out into the world without hot dog panties. Now can I? Yeah, I guess not. Um, I've been looking at the gas stations recently and just kind of like checking back every now and then, and they still haven't restocked their chili dog, chili cheese dog supplies. And I'm wondering, maybe I'm just not getting there fast enough. Isa says, oh, Isa's in chat. He says, hi again. What's up, Isa? And purple, purple juice sends a heart. I saw the heart and I just thought it was Melody, but it's someone named Purple Juice. Says, I'm at 2 frames a minute on the stream. Oh, never mind, it fixed itself. Well, good. I think my OBS was blinking out. Okay. Play this DVD. No, this is bastard swiping them all. Probably. I mean, they're good chili dogs, but every time I go back there, like they're all sold out, and they're just like the prepackaged like microwave chili dogs, and I haven't seen any for like a long while. Isa says, "Gotta go fast to get them chili dogs. Gotta go fast." Is a Sonic the Hedgehog reference. Where'd that cat go? Oh, he's back on my bed. Yeah, the first cat I had over here when he was sick and we all thought he was dying, he's back here again. Um, it seems that he's sick once more. And I'm afraid that the cat might have parvo because when it like it'll drink water but it'll like throw up and like the smell kind of like reminds me of the smell that we had like a few litters of puppies like a couple of years ago and they all came down with parvo and just trying to care after them as they're sick and dying and just one by one like each of them just died off but like the cat's vomit just kind of like smelled like those parvo vomits and shits that those dogs would give out. So I'm afraid. Part of me is afraid that this cat might have parvo, like the feline variation of it. But I don't see how he could have been infected with parvo because none of our cats have parvo, and none of them they're indoor cats, so they don't go outside. I'm just thinking he either got into something again that he wasn't supposed to get into, or maybe he's just got some sort of dysfunction with his digestive system. I don't know, but he's sick again. He is throwing up water, but he hasn't. Part of me thinks that he might not have parvo because, like, yeah, he's throwing up, but he's not fucking spraying shit water everywhere. So I don't know. Melody says, speaking of, I gotta visit the room where all chili dogs end up sending people. So back after a Kazi break. Okay. He just says, hope it's not the Rona. Oh yeah, cats can get like a variation of Corona, a feline variant. I don't know. I don't think so because like all the other cats are fine. Of course, we'll have to wait and see because this cat just kind of came down with something recently. It's been like maybe was it just yesterday? I brought him over. Yeah, I think it was just yesterday I brought him over. So we'll have to wait a couple of days to see how the other cats are doing. Weber's Melody. Hope everything came out okay. Oh, it's getting cold again. Turn on my. Oh shit. The reason it was getting cold is that my heater turned off on its own. It shouldn't be doing that. I didn't even notice. I'm wondering if it's running a little low on fuel. If that be the case, I should shut it off every now and then, which is something I have been doing. But it worries me when it just turns off by itself because I'm afraid that when the flame goes out, it's just spewing out propane without without a care in the world. Melody says, Donkey. Isa says, in this context, that sounds a bit nasty. Is that in reference to Danke, the German for thank you? Because Danke kind of sounds like Dookie. Uh-oh. You're gonna puke on that. There you go. Let it out. You good? Are you done? You okay? Oh. Yeah, whenever he drinks, like drinks some water, he'll tend to like throw it back up, but I don't think it's the same amount that he'll drink. Another issue that he might be having is maybe he's got like a hairball stuck in his digestive system, which is bad. So that could be the case. I don't think I've seen him like pass stool since I brought him back to the house. So I might have to give him like some laxatives. See if I can help him pass whatever stuck in his system, if anything. Misa says, now more to saying, hope everything came out okay or something. Oh. Ah, yeah. Misa says, poor kitty. Melody says, all I can think of right now. All I can think of right now. Whoops. Okay. Oh, I was just checking the lurkers that we might have in chat, and there's quite a few. Is a decent handful. Oh, Melody says, "No, Kitty, this is this is my papa. No, Kitty, you bad kitty." There's a South Park reference. Issa says, "Could he have eaten something he shouldn't have had?" Um, it's possible. It's the first time around we kind of think that he might have like eaten something that he shouldn't have gotten into, but we don't know what that is. But whatever it is, like the other cats haven't been affected, so I guess they did get into it. But I have no idea. Issa said, I think one of our dogs died due to eating something years ago. Yeah, well, after he got better the first time around, I took him back to the house, and he was fine up until recently. So I don't know if he ate something or if there's just something like he's got some sort of dysfunction with his digestive system, or if he's like legitimately sick with some sort of virus, be it parvo or the feline variant of COVID. I have no idea. Whoops, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. Okay, that's warm enough. I usually don't drink soda in the morning, but that soda was from last night. But it didn't go flat because I usually, like, when I can't finish a soda or energy drink, like, I'll usually cover it with, like, one of these plastic cups, and that kind of keeps the freshness a little more. Like, it like, helps keeps it carbonated a little better than rather than just having it, like, sit out in the open air. I, I feel better. I feel better. Anyway, I got court coming come this Thursday. So in a couple of days from now, got to report and give them an update on what's going on. I should be done with all this bullshit, but they make it so hard on me. Like my life shouldn't have to be this hard, but if not for the shitty people who were involved in my case at the beginning, it wouldn't be this difficult. I mean, like presently, like some of the people who are working my case now, they do agree that I got fucking screwed over, but they're not willing to do anything about it. And in my head, I'm thinking like, well, if you can see and you can agree that I was screwed over, can't you do something about it? It's like I'm tired of trying to like take on that burden on my own, and like every time I try, I fucking fail. So the legal system's fucked up. Like I believe that if someone sees an issue with a particular case, they ought to do something about it. Otherwise, if they recognize that they're seeing something that's fucked up, crooked, or corrupt, they ought to apply some effort to try to rectify that. Otherwise, in doing nothing and just observing, like, and agreeing, like, oh yeah, you got fucked over, but you acknowledge it, but then yet you don't do anything about it. You're just being complicit in how fucked up the situation is. So that's something I'd like to change in the legal system if I ever get elected president, is like to incentivize people who work in the system that if they see or notice something that's corrupt and they kind of like dig into it, if they can rectify that, they should be incentivized with some sort of bonus, because right now as it stands it's just like they're all cogs in this machine, and yeah, they might notice something is wrong, but they really don't give enough of a fuck to do anything about it, because as cogs in the machine they're not allowed to work against it, and that's just fucked up in my opinion. Melody says 2 hours remaining. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, my arms. Oh. But life will be a whole lot easier when I'm done with this probation bullshit, man. It's fucking bullshit, dude. Bullshit, motherfucker. Ass clown, piece of shit, douchebag, pussy, dildo. uh, but I'm hoping court goes well, because like I have what I have to report is that I'm signed up for like these certificate program classes, and going back to college for this certificate, and class starts next week. It's going to be something else, because my classes like involve, oh god damn it, I wait, did those tests have anything to do with, hmm, oh yeah, yeah, I before going to before going to college, it's like I had to take these like these proficiency tests to see how well I did in things like language, math, and reading, and I did I did the best I could with what I was capable of, and I shouldn't have done that. So now I'm having to take like I gotta take algebra. Like if I had done, I should have just fucked up every math question. So now, like maybe then they would have like put me in some sort of like remedial math class or like math 101 or something. But I'm having to take like some sort of like math. I can't remember what it was called, but it involved algebra too. It's like, oh fuck, fucking hate algebra. Never fucking use it. It's like taking algebra in high school, just like teacher telling me all the bullshit of like how you can apply algebra in your math, and it's like, fuck, I don't use algebra. Get the fuck out of here. Like I'm this old and I just haven't actually used algebra. Oh, if anything, I haven't used it all that much. And they got me taking this like English class, I don't know what kind of English it is. Let me pull up my schedule. Of course, I should be drawing as I'm doing this, but let's see. Okay, programming fundamentals. Um, oh, yeah, English 101. Okay, so they don't have me in some sort of like advanced English class. That's okay. I'm cool with that. And they got me in Math 102. I wish I was taking Math 101. So if I had just chosen to like just be shit at math during that proficiency test, I think they would have put me in Math 101 and I could have just breezed through it. But fuck no, I had to like show that I was fairly decent at math. Oh, and then I'll besides the English, math, and the programming fundamentals, I have to take Navajo. I have to go about learning my own language. Melody says, I only did 2 weeks of formal education. Lucky. Lisa says, I literally have no idea what algebra is, but I bet it's good to know if you learn programming. What? No. No. Maybe. But no. I don't know. I have no idea. Melody says, uh, algebra is adding letters to numbers, a pretty dumb concept. Yes. Yes, I agree. So, like, starting next week, I'm going to have to start, like, taking these classes and then just fucking learning all this stuff. So saith the court, because I couldn't find a job. And I looked around here, I applied, did what I could, and fucking either I can't get hired because I need more training, which costs more money that I can't that I don't have, or it's a situation where I'm just like more or less given the runaround, and I'm pretty sure that's because of my like my felony. So no one wants to give me the chance or opportunity to get to work. So like it's just fucking I don't know, it's fucking tough. It's fucking difficult. But I'm doing what I can, you know. Like I wish the courts would just fucking lay off my situation, like especially with the whole art thing. You're like, oh well, art isn't a real job, Black Horse. That's more of a hobby. I'm like, fuck, get bent, man. It's like, it's like I don't do this as a hobby. I do it as a living. The courts were just willing to see that, life wouldn't be as difficult as it is now. But maybe this year is going to be my year. Just fucking getting my sentence reduced, my probation sentence, which was applied by a stupid fucking cunt pre-sentence investigator. And everyone like that I'm working with now agrees that I was like steamrolled into this lengthy probation sentence and that it's not really necessary. Though that they can see that and they agree with that, like none of them are fucking lifting a finger to help me resolve or rectify the situation. And I hope that bitch, that fucking dry, shriveled up old cunt, pre-sentence investigator is fucking dead. I hope she's fucking dead, buried in the ground, and dogs are pissing on her grave. That dried, shriveled up old cunt. I hope she fucking choked on something and died a painful death. If not from COVID, but COVID would be even sweeter. I hope she got COVID, had like a meatball sub sandwich, and choked on a meatball and just fucking died there in agonizing pain as her uh, inability to breathe air just made her suffocate even more. And as she like reached out to grab some sort of like grab at the air to like get some sort of like help or reprieve from her suffering, she just suffered all the much more and just fucking died. That would be nice. do 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 do. Melody says you can join me in the dumbass class. Well, Melody, we're gonna be working together. We're gonna be learning together, right? You're gonna help me out with Navajo, so we can both learn Navajo together. That'll be fun. Actually, I'm honestly like looking forward to it because like when I tell my folks of like how you've taken it upon yourself to like learn some Navajo words, they they get pretty happy. But I think like learning Navajo together would be pretty cool, and I'm honestly looking forward to that. Melody says, perhaps tell the twats in the court you have been applying to various big time art studios in hopes of landing a job in art. Might make them wake up and say, hey, maybe this dork is serious about his art after all. Yeah, and I have been applying, but fucking no one's getting me. No one's gotten back to me. I I don't know what it is. But being in the animation industry, it's all involved with who you know. And I might have got fucked over in that situation because, like, one of the people I know and worked for, like, I've reached out to him for a job. And I believe I came pretty close to getting hired by him. But the guy is a fucking. He's he's a Trumper. He loved Donald Trump while he was in office, and he was like fucking one of those right wing nut jobs, like singing his praises and shit. And then I have a sneaky feeling that I might have been passed over because he might have like looked at my social media and seen how much I hate that fucking Cheeto dust comb over piece of shit douchebag motherfucker. And I think he just kind of like passed me over and like hired somebody else because of that. Because like when I was taking that storyboarding test gig, and it was like for storyboard and layout, like I did pretty good, and I made it to like the final 13 runners up to like see who would get the position, but he ended up hiring someone else, and it sucks because I I did what I could with what little I had, and he was pretty impressed, and I thought I was a shoo-in for sure, but him being like a right-wing Trumper for as much as he was, I'm pretty sure he like before he decided to hire anybody, he like looked into their like social media, and then seeing how much I hated that fucking asshole, he probably like thought like, oh, there's a fucking far left liberal, blah blah blah. Then I'm not far left in the least. I just hated that fucking lying, crooked douchebag asshole for what he was. Like how could you not see how corrupt he was? I mean, he's like the quintessential bad guy from like an '80s movie. Is it quintessential or quintessential? I think it might be quintessential. But yeah, he just like checks all those tropes for like a '80s bad guy in like a friggin' cheesy '80s movie. I don't know. Like I don't see why other people like are so in love with him when he's just a fucking outright apparent asshole douchebag. It's like written all over his face. It's like that fucking fucking smug smile of his. That it's like that smile was like, I'm better than everybody, and like I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm better than all my shitty ass supporters. It's just that smugness in his face is just so apparent. Is like, how can you not tell this guy's like fucking like he's a liar, he's a cheat, crooked um he's a crooked lowlife. It's just painted all over his face. So yeah, I think that's why I didn't get that job, even though I like came that close. I'm pretty sure that all of his potential hires, he may have like looked them up and like looked into their social media and just like passed me over for somebody else. Anyway, Modi says just spitball an idea. The mango, the mango skin moron. Yes. Anyway, I'm ranting too much. Let me get some more. Chat, can you let me know if if you just want me to shut up and just like watch me draw, or if you enjoy the rants? Because if you're not enjoying the rants, I can I can dial it back a bit. But I'll still rant every now and then because I find it cathartic. Because when I rant in my daily life about the bullshit that I have to go through, and I'm the only one that can hear it, or maybe like another family member, it's still frustrating. But when I can rant on a platform that allows like a multitude of people to hear it, like I feel like a little more vindicated, and like I have to admit it is cathartic because at least people are hearing me, like hearing the situation from like my point of view, and just like when people like agree with me, it's just that much more relieving to like kind of think like, oh, good, like fucking, I'm not crazy then. Especially, oh my god, like when I was like just kind of like discussing my shitty situation with my attorney, not my attorney, the public defender, and like saying like, yeah, like I don't know why that pre-sentence investigators just decided to steamroll me, but she gave me like fucking lifetime for an offense where like the people around me were getting like fucking 5 or 10 years probation, and like they were getting like a lot less probation than I was getting. So I don't know what was going on. And then it was just so like amazing in the moment when that public defender's like, yeah, you did get. I can't remember his words verbatim, but in essence, he was saying, yeah, you did get fucked over. But it was like so amazing to like have like someone working in the system agree with me. I'm like thinking like, oh my god, I'm not fucking crazy. I did get fucked over. Fuck that bitch. But yeah, like I feel like me ranting about my shitty situation, like having a multitude of people hear it, is just more therapeutic for me. Like I feel like, oh god, at least I'm being heard, listened to, and like when people say like, yeah, they understand, or like, yeah, you like the system's fucked up. You're right. It just feels that much better, just like, oh god, at least I'm not fucking crazy when I just fucking rant about this shit. Melody says, "Ish fine, nerd. I enjoy them. Plus, it burns up time too." Asa says, got to keep that golden ratio of rant to art. Yes. Now, after that little bit of ranting, let's get some art down. Okay, I think this panel is pretty good. We're mimicking this one here, where the horned toad is like grabbing. I'm pretty sure that's a kidney. I don't know what the Navajo says about it, but I'm gonna have to have one of my parents translate and tell me what it is. Like what organ there he's grabbing. But it looks like a kidney. Ah, he punches it. Maybe I should do that too. Just have him punching it. Oh God. You know what I should have him do? I should have him do like a German suplex. That'd be fucking badass. Just have him like suplex the fucking the kidney. Oh man. No, it says power bomb it. Yusuf says, now I feel it might be good. This isn't a super well known cartoon. Could have given furries even weirder fetishes. Oh yeah, like what are you talking about? I was doing a vor scene without even realizing it. Like you've seen that, right? Like the here, let me show you. Where is it? I think this is nope. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I was doing this shot because it looked like it would be cool to like see and it would be fun to animate. And I got pretty far into the thing, like the horned toad like getting shoved into the mouth and getting swallowed whole, and with the mouth just kind of like closing and the camera just kind of like pulling back as if the camera's also sliding down the coyote's gullet. And someone had mentioned, I'm wondering if it was Iso, like, but somebody mentioned that like, oh, this is like there's something about a vor type fetish, and it's like, oh shit, that is what I'm doing. Yeah, yeah. There's a vor scene in this animation. Uh, but yeah, here's the inner workings, the organs background for this piece right here. Now let's animate that suplex, or let's draw that suplex. Oh God, I got an itch. I got an itch. Oh, it's hard to like scratch an itch when you're wearing like several thick layers of clothes. You can see my breath. Can you see it? That's how cold it is in here. Even though the thermometer reads that it's just under 40 degrees. It's got to be colder in here if you can see fog breath. Anyway, where's my coffee? Shit, where is my coffee? Fuck. I finished my soda, and after that, I was gonna. There it is. I'm gonna go next door and top off my coffee because this coffee's cold. It's like from last night. I poured myself the last bit of coffee, and it's like halfway down, so primed to get topped off. So I will BRB to get some coffee. BRB. I'm back. So many layers. You got one sweater, two sweaters, three sweaters. Okay. Okay. Melody says, Weber's, thanks, love. Lisa says, welcome back, dude. Thanks, yo. Melody says 1 hour and 25 minutes. Yes. Lisa says, oh, did you watch the animations I linked? No, I forgot. And if yes, what did you think about Daisy's voice acting? Damn it. What were those about again? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to check those out. uh, yeah, I want to do like story time animations sometime soon, but last night I was just working on the graphics and just trying to think like what should I talk about? I'm thinking about like maybe talking about stupid stuff that I believed in as a kid. Like yeah, for a time I did believe in Santa Claus up until like maybe I was 8 years old when I don't remember if I was told or if I figured it out. But after I came to the realization I wasn't as devastated, and like I had a friend who believed in Santa Claus, like outright believed him, and I was like, I was trying to like tell him like, but Santa Claus isn't real, and he's like saying like, yeah he is, yeah he is. It's like no, dude, he's fake. as his evidence, he pointed to like a photo he took with Santa Claus, and he's like, he's right there. And I'm like saying like, no, that's just some guy in a suit. He's like, no, that's Santa Claus. And like even that young I knew it's like leave well enough alone. It's like, okay, yeah, you're right. That's I guess you're right. That is him. He is real. And in the back of my mind is like, I'm friends with this guy. I'm friends with this kid. Because we were like the same age. And I was thinking like, I don't know like as a kid like how you dictate that. Like when you're smart enough to know that Santa Claus isn't real, but then you have other kids the same age who are just so like holding on to that fantasy that they believe it outright. And I'm thinking like, is it because he's dumb, or is it because I'm smart? And if I am smarter than him, or if he is that stupid, is it my right, or is it necessary for me to like tear that down for him, or just let it happen naturally, like his realization? But in that instant, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it alone, and just like admit that he's right, because he'll learn eventually. But yeah, and for a time I did believe in the tooth fairy, but trying to rationalize it is like, how is it that the tooth fairy comes into my room and swaps my tooth for some money? Does the tooth fairy come in from the door or the window? If it comes in from the door, then they have to like come in from the front door. Are my parents aware of it? And if it comes in from the window, does it have to open the window, or does it just kind of like materialize from the window? Because I want to see this tooth fairy. Huh. Because I got some questions. Why is it like every time I lose a tooth, like I either get a quarter or a dollar? Does the tooth difference, like from an incisor to like a molar, like vary in quality or price? I don't know. But then when it came time to like like I'd lose a tooth and then put it under my pillow, expecting some money in the morning, and then in the morning like still see the tooth. Is like, what happened? The tooth fairy didn't come. What's going on? I got cheated. And then the next night try it again, and the same thing. Like, my tooth is still here. Like, what the heck is going on? Like, is this tooth not good enough? Is the tooth fairy aware? Like, I thought the tooth fairy like knew automatically that like you place your tooth under your pillow, and the tooth fairy comes and leaves you some money. So I have no idea what's going on. So like as a kid, like of course I took my complaint up to the top. I went to one of my parents. I went to my mom and told her, like, I've been leaving this tooth under my pillow for the last few nights, and I haven't gotten my money yet. And apparently, well, like she didn't know, because like, yeah, I've had a loose tooth, but then when it popped out, I didn't inform anybody, and I just placed it on my under my pillow, and like figured like, I'll tell my parents I lost my tooth after I get the money. But then after several nights of not getting money, I'm not getting paid. I took it to my mom. I was like, I didn't get money for this tooth yet. And then, of course, like my mom told me to try again that night, and was like, okay, we'll see. And then, sure enough, the next day, like there's some money in place of my tooth there under my pillow. It's like, oh, it worked. And then at that time, I like thinking like, wait a minute, why is it that when I was hoping to surprise my parents with the money I received from the Tooth Fairy, nothing happened? But it was only until I brought my complaint to my mom, and then that's when it started to like kind of like come together. It's like, oh, the Tooth Fairy isn't real. Just the life changing like realization. Like you're a little kid and you believe wholeheartedly that this magical creature comes into your bedroom when you lose a tooth and replaces your tooth with some, puts some money there, and you believe that for the longest time. But then like when you start getting smart enough to like realize these patterns, and then when that situation happened to me, it all just kind of like clicked. It's like, oh. And I don't remember what happened from there on out. I don't know if I just bothered with like the Tooth Fairy thing, or if I just like, hey mom, I lost this tooth, give me some money. I know you're the Tooth Fairy, don't lie to me. Where's my money? Okay. But yeah, I'm thinking like maybe do like a story time somewhere along those things. Oh, another stupid thing I believed as a kid, and I don't remember how young I was, but apparently I was like still too young to like really think these things through. But as a kid, you know, like I'm into dinosaurs and like dinosaurs and cavemen, and with those cartoons, like thinking like dinosaurs and cavemen lived together, like in the same time period. Just kind of like thinking, then start thinking about cavemen and like how they lived, and then I would like see a cave, and I don't know why it is, but I thought back when I was a kid, I thought cavemen carved their own caves. And I remember thinking like, well, why don't if they can carve their own caves, why don't they just build their own houses? Is it because they don't know how to build houses that they just take like some rocks or maybe some chisels to carve their own cave to like live in? Huh. And then so whenever I'd see like a cave or like even a big massive cave, I would think to myself, wow, it must have taken like cavemen a long time to carve that out. Man. Okay. Sometimes I was a smart kid, like figuring out like Santa Claus wasn't real or figuring the Tooth Fairy wasn't real. But then when it came to stuff like that, I was just like thinking like, man, this cave is huge. It must have taken like cavemen forever to carve this out. Sometimes I was smart, but then sometimes I was just a regular dumb kid. another another dumb thing I would believe as a kid is that you know, as a kid, you chew gum and whatever, and like chewing gum is like one of the things you do as a kid because it's like it's tasty and like blowing bubbles with your like bubble gum, like it's fun. So way back then, I like chewing bubble gum so much, and like I sometimes I'd chew it like late into the night, and I'd fall asleep chewing bubble gum, and and in the morning I would wake up with bubble gum in my hair. And I don't know why I thought this, but like thinking like it had to be some sort of magic that would take place because I fell asleep with the bubble gum in my mouth, but then I woke up with it in my hair. How did it magically transport from my mouth to my hair? Because of course, when you're asleep, like you'll like toss and turn, but you're not conscious of it. And logically, like the bubble gum would like just drop out of my mouth, and then tossing and turning it just end up in my hair. But I wouldn't think that. So upon discovering this magical transport, I would test my theory again. It's like, okay, I'm going to fall asleep with some bubble gum in my mouth, but if I wake up with it in my hair, there must be something going on. Is someone sneaking into my room late at night, taking the bubble gum from my mouth and putting it in my hair as a joke? I'm going to get to the bottom of this. But yeah, eventually I figured out, like, you know what? I should just not go to sleep with bubble gum in my mouth. Isa says, if you ever get kids, you should get them to believe that. Just take them to some caves and make a long story about how cavemen made it. Millions of years ago, children, it would take 4 or 5 cavemen to carve this cave, and it would take them 50 years to carve this cave out. But no, I'm not having children. Right, Melody? We have sworn that we are not having kids. He says, take them to some caves and make. Oh, yeah, you already said that. I already read that. Melody says, dick move. Yeah, it's like the dad in Calvin and Hobbes, those comic strips. That dad is such like a freaking prick when like trying to like teaching his son some things. Like Calvin will come to his father with a question, and it's like one of those like cute little innocent ones like that kids have. Calvin would ask his dad like, "Well, Dad, why does ice float?" And his dad would say, "Well, son, ice is really cold, so it floats to the top to be closer to the sun because the sun's warm." It's like shit. And then Calvin will come to his father like with old photos, like, "Dad, why is this picture in black and white?" And then his dad would say, "Well, you see, son, color wasn't invented until the 19 somethings." And, and he says, like, he would say, like, "No, son, that photo is actually in color. You see, color wasn't invented until such and such time." So back then, everything was just black and white. Just all of reality was just black and white up until like color was invented. Melody says 1 hour 10 minutes. Yeah, suplex that kidney. Boom. And then I got to do one of him punching it. So yeah, maybe I'll do a story time like that, just like stupid stuff I believed as a kid. Something else I believed in is that as a kid, I had no sense of geography. Like, I've never really bothered to see a map or study one. I just assumed that some of these far and away places were just like maybe a few hundred miles away, like in the next state or something. And oh man, I was so dumb. I believe I had the belief that the equator was right around the vicinity of Phoenix, Arizona, because I had been there once and it was really hot. And to my understanding, he's like, well, the equator is closer to the sun than anywhere else on the earth, and it's really hot in Phoenix. So the equator must be around Phoenix. Yeah, I'm so smart. No, no, you're not. Melody says all life was black and white until Technicolor was invented. Yes, you got it, love. All waking life was just black and white until like Technicolor invented what we all see and enjoy nowadays. You know, they used to say that you can only dream in black and white, but when I grew up, just like hearing that phrase and like thinking back on my dreams is like, no, no, you don't. Like, I know I dream in color, so that can't be true. Does that mean I'm special somehow? It's like the common knowledge dictates that everybody dreams in black and white. But nowadays, that perception has changed, and like, yeah, of course, people can dream in color, but what they speculate nowadays is that the reason, I guess, a lot of people back in the day dreamt in black and white is because that was the media that they were consuming. So, like, say a kid grew up watching like black and white TV, so somehow that influences how they dream. Like, in their dreams, they would like see in black and white. But being like present day, like all of us growing up with like watching TV and consuming media that's in color, we can all dream in color. I don't know, I don't know how that is or why that how that makes sense, but apparently that's how it is. But like having never dreamt in black and white and always dreaming in color, I gotta go along with that theory because that's the only um, theory just that kind of like makes sense. Like the reason people dreamt in black and white back then was because that's how media was consumed, and the reason we dream in color now is because again, like the media we consume is all in color. So, oh, Melody says, I can't find hide nor hair of this Schmidt whore. Yeah, Sandy Schmidt is the fucking dried up, shriveled cunt crone that gave me lifetime supervision. Whereas like everyone like around me, like who had the same offense, was given like maybe 3, 5 years probation, maybe even 10 years probation. Like, but they all had probation that ended at a certain time. But for me, like, why the fuck did I get lifetime? Is like when comparing my cases to everyone else, it's like I wasn't as bad as some of these other people. It's that fucking stupid bitch, judgmental fucking cunt that came to these hasty conclusions based on my offense that she decided like, oh, I'm gonna fucking rail this guy. It's like, bitch, like fucking if you had done your job and actually interviewed one of my relatives like you were supposed to, then you would have like gotten a better idea of my character rather than coming to your own judgmental conclusions based on your preconceived notions of who I am. But get this, like she tried to reach out to my sister, but she couldn't get a hold of her, and she didn't try again because like my sister like worked nights and she slept through during the day, so she couldn't get like those phone calls. So because she couldn't get a hold of my sister, she automatically assumes, well, okay, this guy must be a piece of shit, so I'm gonna give him like the fucking, I'm gonna send him down the river without like a paddle or hand to uh, paddle with. Melody says USPO, the United States Probation Office. Sandy Schmidt was the one on your case. Yes, Sandy Schmidt was my pre-sentence investigator, and I do believe she'd be working for the United States Probation Office because, like, she did my pre-sentence investigators, and I think it's the probation office that determines how much probation you get. Fucking dried, shriveled up old crone. Be nice if she were dead. I hope she died. Some horrible, disfiguring accident where she suffered in her last remaining moments in life. That'd be fucking sweet. Ah, man, I'm so bitter. That's because she's such a fucking bitch, man. I gotta watch my language, though. I shouldn't call her a whore, because that's slanderous. I can call her a bitch and a cunt all I want, because that's just a matter of opinion. But to call her a whore, that would be slander. Because she is not a prostitute. I think we've had this discussion before. Yes, we have. We have had this discussion before. Because, like, Melody said, like, calling her a whore would be an insult to prostitutes. And then I agreed. It's like, yeah, because like prostitutes are supposed to be pleasant, right? And there's nothing pleasant about this fucking bitch, Sandy Schmidt. To hell with her. Kram, I've never prayed to you before. I haven't the tongue for it. But if you grant me anything, grant me this. Grant me the death of my enemies. And if you do not listen, then to hell with you. That's more or less the quote. I think I messed it up a little bit. But that's the gist. Conan, what is good in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women. Good. Oh man, Conan's got it figured out. Figured out. That's what's good in life. I'd like to crush all my enemies and hear the lamentation of their women. Fucking sweet. Make me your president and let's see this happen. Johnson and Blackhorse for president 2024. Let's crush our enemies and hear the lamentation of their women. Iso's like saying, oh my god, I was literally thinking of that quote. Okay, that's good for that one. Let's jump on the next panel, shall we? And it'll be this one. But I should probably like rearrange the composition, try to get a different angle. Uh, Esau says more people should end their prayers with, and if you, if not, then to hell with you. Oh God, I love coffee. I love coffee so much. Almost as much as I love my darling sweet melody. Wait, how does this? Okay. Melody says 58 minutes. Oh man, it's getting chilly in here again. Chili's baby back ribs. Chili's baby back ribs. Barbecue sauce. Okay. Missed again. I gotta remember that before I leave to go haul some drinking water, I gotta roll up my bedding and put it away. I don't want this cat puking all over my sheets and my blankets. all this barking about? Oh, it's just a car. Oh, belongs to the neighbors. Oh yeah, I got to make a political video sometime today too for my politics and policies in which I'm running for president. I am running for president 2024. Even though I haven't announced it as a goal, like personally, I kind of want to make it a goal to like make a daily 2 minute and 20-second video to release on Twitter and TikTok and Facebook for my presidential run and ideas and policies that I'm running on. Last video I talked about corrupt capitalism. Because like as it stands now, like Americans don't really have that much sway or power as far as capitalism goes. It's like, yeah, we can like earn like a wage off of our labors and goods or commodities or what was it that I was saying? Private individual or business making money off of their services, labor and services. And that's good and all, but a lot of us aren't earning a living wage off of the good and services that we we provide. And the reason that is that capitalism has been throttled by the major corporations that are running America. And what I want to do is take capitalism out of the hands of these corporations and give it back to the people. Because with the stranglehold these corrupt corporations have on capitalism, it's like they're just capitalizing on human lives, essentially. And that's not how it should go. You see, because they've corrupted capitalism so much. It's like the poor, the sick, and the dying have no choice but to pay like a lot of these like fees or like inflated costs or invented debts that these corporations come up with just to keep all of us enslaved to them. So I'd like to take the power of capitalism out of these corporations' hands and give it back to the American people. And after doing that, it would like help stimulate the economy because like what's the economy is suffering right now because people aren't spending enough money. Because like in all actuality, people aren't able to spend that much money, like their hard earned, like their hard earned wages are just getting sent back to these corrupt corporations in order to just like simply live in a lot of these cases. So instead of like spending things on like goods, products, and services that Americans have like would like to enjoy, instead Americans are taking a lot of their hard-earned wages and spending it on these debts that a lot of these corporations just come up with. It's like what justifies like a 20% increase on some of these debts? There's like really no justification for it. It's just like a trivial number that some of them come up with. And it's fucking insane. And it should not be like that. So, like, the other factor is why the economy is suffering is that, yeah, like people aren't spending that much money on products because a lot of the money is going to like a lot of these debts, and like there's like a bottleneck of like that money flow because of the rich. It's like the rich and wealthy are just like hoarding a bunch of this money. It's like, yeah, they're spending it on like X amount of yachts that they get, or X amount of luxury cars or big fancy homes. But how does spending money on these luxury items for their personal use help the economy or help the lower people? Now, like, all started with this Republican idea of trickle down economics, where like the Republicans like claimed like, oh, if we give money to the mega rich are going to use that money to create new jobs for the common people, and all that money will start trickling down to them. But the thing is, like, if you got like a mega rich person who you're giving all these tax cuts to and giving all this money to, they're not really incentivized to like build a company or produce all these jobs. Like, what they will do is just like fucking hoard that money and just spend it on themselves. Yeah, give me like a new jetliner. Give me a new fucking mega yacht. Give me this like fucking huge big ass house with a golden staircase and golden toilet with golden flake toilet paper so I can wipe my ass with the fucking silky gold. And it's just fucking bullshit. And that's just the state of things, and that's why the economy is suffering so much as it is right now. Is just like all these rich wealthy people are getting all the tax cuts and getting all the money, and like Republicans claim like, oh yeah, we give the money to the mega rich, they'll create new jobs, start paying more people, and that'll stimulate the economy. Yeah, we'll pat ourselves on the back. Whoo, good job, thanks to you. Just, yeah, we're doing great. But no, like fucking all these wealthy people are just like, oh, holding on to that money. It's my money. Oh, I didn't earn it, but it was given to me. I don't have to use this money to do anything but fucking buy myself luxury items. Melody says, and they keep most of their money through tax breaks. Yes, that too. And it's just fucking stupid. Trickle down economics doesn't work. So, what I want to do, and what I want to propose in this new video, is my idea for a multi-tier economic system. It won't just be like 100% capitalism, it won't be 100% socialism, or it won't be 100% communism. It'll just be a variation of all of those. Now, like, that idea might scare a lot of people. Like, a lot of the Commonwealth are like thinking like, well, you're just trying to make all of us like communists or socialists. You're just going to tax all of us. It's like, no. What I want is for capitalism to be strictly for the common people, and like keep the common people and average Americans. What the fuck is going on? Is a big There's a big truck pulling up. I don't think that's for me, but anyway. What I want is like to have common people, the Commonwealth, average American, to have full control of their capitalism, to earn a decent living wage off of the hard work and services that they provide. And anyone working in government or like a state position, like elected official or somewhat, would be working in a communist economic system. Like, you think of all these politicians and elected officials, and they got like 6-figure paychecks, like earning like 170,000 a year. Like, what really justifies that? Like, what are you providing to society to warrant you earning a six-figure income? It's like you're not really providing anything to society but more debt, because a lot of these lawmakers, politicians, elected officials, they just sit in their big fancy chairs and pretend like they're making really big important decisions, whereas like a lot of these decisions just end up hurting the Commonwealth. They end up hurting the average American citizen, and that's not worth a six-figure income. So I believe that all elected officials and people working in government should earn like a very base salary of like, well, depending on what like the level of government you're working in, like you earn a salary of like maybe 50 to, I guess, $90,000 a year. But in no in no way should anyone working in government be like earning like a six-figure income. I mean, it's ludicrous. It's like, what are you doing or providing to the American people that justifies that? Like, all you do is just sit around and make decisions. You're not building schools. You're not paving roadways. You're not saving lives. You're not protecting people. All you're doing is sitting behind a desk making decisions. So here's your five-figure income, and it'll be a livable wage. Like hell. Right now, I'd be happy with a $30,000 income, like a $30,000 annual income. Shit, I'd be happy. But yeah, like people working in government or in state will work under like a like a like a communist economic system. Is like what they earn, like more or less just still belongs to the government or the state and goes toward the people, but in no way should they be like earning like a six-figure income. I mean, it's just, there's no justification for it. Melody says, it's why I have always been opposed to the idea of loans, especially bank loans. Yes. Why spend your whole life through working your ass off for the privilege of owing someone else money? Yeah. And the going along with my idea, the next economic tier would be the socialism tier, and that tier would be reserved for the ultra and mega rich, like the multi-millionaires and billionaires in this country. Because let's face it, they're not being taxed enough. Like they're being given too many tax breaks in the hopes, like with this whole like stupid trickle down economic system. Now, the idea is that if you give them a lot of money, they'll create new jobs and whatever, and like create new businesses, but that's not the case. Like these people are already like mega rich off of like the industries that they do run. So why reward them more when they should be contributing to society, because they don't contribute enough to justify all those tax breaks. So I want to like put like a cap on how much money that they earn, and when they earn over that cap, all that money, that excess will be like skimmed off and like given to like the social programs that we do have in place, such as social security, healthcare, um, things like maybe even insurance, because the way insurance companies are run now, it's pretty shady. I mean, the insurance system, it's in and of itself is like a gamble, and it needs to be reworked and remanaged, because way back in the day, like say, like one of the first insurance institutions was like State Farm, and it goes along with their slogan, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. That's because way back in the day, when like um, a lot of this was like a lot of farmland, and you had all these farmers like making produce for the country. A lot of them, all they had to depend on was each other, their neighbors. So like say like a farmer who's like working his crops, his tractor breaks down. So he'd like tell his neighbor, and his neighbor would say like, "Oh, well, you can use my tractor until you can like get the money to fix up yours, or you can use my tractor, and I have another neighbor who's well adept at fixing farm equipment, so we'll just help each other out until you can get back on your feet." And that's when like one of the first insurance companies came up, and that's State Farm. And what State Farm would do is just like they would help out these farmers with some of these cases in which they needed money. So they'd give out a loan, but then they would tack on like interest to that loan, and that interest is like whatever they decide it to be. Of course, like nowadays there are like certain like caps that they put in place, but there needs to be more stringent caps on people who like need to get a loan. So anyway, like back in the day, that's what State Farm adopted as their slogan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. That's because like they wanted to paint themselves as like an everyman type of company. It's like, well, you don't have to go to your neighbor. You can just come to us, and we'll give you money. But of course, like we'd want you to pay it back, but with some interest. But trust us, you know, like a good neighbor, we're here for you. So they kind of like in a way just kind of like made themselves a necessity, and it just kind of went on from there. And like things have gotten way out of control, especially with these payday loans, like hawking out these exorbitant like percentage rates for their interest, and it's just fucking nuts. Anyway, I'm I'm ranting too much, but like I got to get these thoughts like in like a more timely like condensed version, because like I post these like videos on Twitter, and Twitter has a 2 minute and 20 second cap on it, so I can only produce these videos in 2 minute and 20 second intervals. And I wish it was longer, because like TikTok has like a 3 minute cap, and I made the first video to be 3 minutes long, because I thought like Twitter would be just as long, if not longer. But no, like Twitter has an even shorter cap to it. So now because of Twitter, like each of these videos I produce has to be 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. So I got to take my multi-tier economic system and try to condense it as much as possible down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It's going to be, it's difficult. Um, Melody says it's a system that's set up to keep a person in perpetual debt, so they have to continuously run the hamster wheel. Yes, yes, believe me, I've seen it firsthand, especially with my mom, where she'll like take a payday loan, finally pay it down, but because she had to pay so much in interest to this payday loan, she's still suffering for money. So what she'd do is just like take that total amount out again in order to help pay her bills and everything. And it was just like just stuck in that cycle until finally she had enough of it. And like, when she finally paid it down, she was done with it. Because during that, like being in that cycle, like she figured like I make enough to pay off this loan, and if I can not get another loan, I'd have that much more money to spend on the things I do need. Because for a long while we were suffering there. Like, yeah, she initially took out the loan to help pay like things like bills and food and things of that nature. And then when she paid it off, she was still hard up for money because of the interest from those loans. So still being short on cash because of the interest. And even though she just paid it off in full, she needed to take out another loan in order to help herself out with the coming like a need for food and like being able to pay off bills. And then again, like it would just start all over again. But yeah, if you have enough money to pay interests, just don't get the loan and just use that extra money to put forth to what you do need. And when she figured that out, she finally got herself out of that hamster wheel and hasn't been back since. Okay, after all this coffee and soda to begin with, I gotta go hit the head. So I will BRB. Ah, shit. I'm okay. Shoot, I forgot my phone. I don't know if I've received any calls. I like to keep my phone under my pillow because it gets too cold to the point where it'll almost shut itself off. That's how cold it gets. But anyway, yeah. BRB. Smells like propane in here. I tripped over the propane cord over here. That still works. One of our dogs got off her lead, so trying to fix this thing. Like something about her chain broke, so have this have this thing just laying around. So I'm gonna reattach her lead to the hook or the clip thing that we got. But this thing's kind of rusted, so hopefully it'll do. Just want to make sure it's operational. Make sure it's functional. There we go. Won't come off easy, so yeah, this'll work. This'll work. Yeah, one of our dogs got loose. I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know if she snapped a link in her chain or something, because some of these pit bulls have a tendency to do that. Even the little one, like fucking, she's like the smallest one of the group, and it doesn't look like she's very powerful. And like these other pit bulls, like the males that we got, they haven't snapped their chains at all. But I don't know how she did it, but she snapped hers, and like fucking, it's nuts. And there was this kennel that we were keeping her in because she had bitten like the like my cousin next door. Well, he was being a dick anyway, because like he was just fucking constantly pestering the pit bulls. I was like, fucking kid, you gotta have more sense than that. Like, yeah, you got a shit life, but of all things, like, dude, don't tease pit bulls. He's not that bright. But anyway, yeah, we had her in a kennel. She got off her chain. Well, no, like she was still on her chain, but she was able to gnaw her way out of the chain link fence. I was like, dude, what the fuck? And after she was able to figure that out, she kept doing it. And the reason she gnawed her way out of the chain link fence is because this huge windstorm came by, and it had toppled her doghouse over, like just flipped her doghouse, and so she was freaking out. This windstorm did not let up, and she was desperate to get out of there, and she just gnawed her way through the chain link fence that we use like to make this kennel. And after she did that, like after I put it together, I put the chain link fence back together as best I could. But now that she knew she had the capability of gnawing her way out, she just keeps doing it now. Like beforehand, she didn't bother trying or testing that restraint. Like she didn't bother testing the kennel because I guess she just assumed like, oh, well, I'm stuck in here now. I can't get out. But after that huge windstorm whipped through, and she became that desperate to like give it a shot, she was able to gnaw her way out. So now that she knows she can get out, she just does it on her own, like at her leisure. It fucking oh that friggin' dog. Melody says 24 minutes left. Sweet. Okay. Let's do another pose for this coyote. I don't know. Should I have him standing straight up? Because I know he's like standing a little more straight up in this, but I imagine he'd be doubled over in pain. Okay, that's warm enough. Melody says yours is very much a squat and squirt pose. Yeah. Mm, mm. Yeah, it is. I think it suits the discomfort that he's in because I've had some I've had some intestinal stress before, and believe me, you're not able to really like stand straight up. It's painful, and you're just like, well, speaking for myself, I was doubled over in pain until the pain finally subsided and like the pressure was released. What had caused the pressure in the first place was just like me wearing like these tight pants. Like I gained some weight and I was like still like trying to wear these pants that had become tight on me, and somehow the pants caused some sort of like intestinal stress or blockage, and I had this built up pressure in my gut, and like it didn't subside until like I undid my belt and my jeans, and then and only then did like the pressure just kind of like relieve itself and just I guess kept moving things along. So I bought bigger pants after that, but that was like years ago. Melody says 17 more minutes. 17 minutes left. And then I can go out and haul some water. I think that's all I have to do. Oh, look for some. Look for some chili dogs. Mmm, chili cheese dogs. Yeah. I wonder if there's still some sloppy joes from last night. We had sloppy joes last night over here for dinners. Had sloppy joes for the dinners. Oh, the truck's leaving. Okay, that's what that is. Melody says, also glad we had that little chat earlier. Suddenly, Artsy doesn't seem so doom and gloom or a constant trifecta of constantly getting things fucked up in the design stage. Yes, you really did scare me, love. I don't know what I'd do without you, and I don't know what I would have done if you had not come in my life when you did. But always remember that I love you. I need you in my life because I'm not sure if I'd function otherwise. Melody says, ooh, I wish I were an Oscar Mayer wiener. Oh, I wish I were an Oscar Mayer wiener. Ah, don't scare me like that. Oh, but yeah, I'm glad we clarified some things and that we can still have some fun. You know, I don't want to rain dance on your parade all the time. I just I just pray that I'll be over this whole stupid probation thing sometime soon, and then just kind of get back to living. Because right now, living under this umbrella, just fucking, it's not life. This is what not life is meant to be. Just hope to be done so we can draw and be creative to our heart's content. And I look forward to that day where we can both enjoy it. Right, love? Melody says agreed, nerd. Yes. Yes. Someday, and I hope it's soon. Hell, maybe I'll even like say a prayer for it after the stream is done. Maybe like find myself some mountain smoke. I know we have some mountain smoke. It's not like actual tobacco. It's just like a mixture of like plants and herbs that we smoke for ceremonial purposes and for prayers. So maybe I'll pray that I get some really good news for my court update come this Thursday. What would be nice is just like to get like a definitive like cutoff date. But I won't expect that though, because I know they want that polygraph done, the polygraph test, and I haven't bothered looking into it because I just don't have the money. And from what I hear and I understand that the polygraph tests that they have available now are just more expensive than the ones that I was trying to save up for. But maybe that's what I'll put my money toward, like my financial aid award. Like after I buy all the books that I need to get, like put some of that money aside for the polygraph test, or maybe even like my Navajo Nation stimulus, because the Navajo Nations is giving like all tribal members like another stimulus check. Melody's saying, "Do you have any regular tobacco?" Nope. I guess I could buy some tobacco down at the store, but it's just not as good as the tobacco we get from Cortez, Colorado. The way my mom puts it is like the tobacco we get from the store like smells like an old man. It's old man tobacco because it smells like an old man. But I guess I could get that with some rolling papers. But the tobacco we get from Colorado, like from the trading post, it's just so mellow and smooth, and it's not as harsh as some of the other like available loose tobacco you can get anywhere else. But to get that, we'd have to drive all the way to Cortez, Colorado. I don't I don't have the time nor the funds to pay for that. But it's okay. It's okay. Melody says, huh? It's only 52 miles. That's some. Melody says, that's some good gutsu. Yeah, it's like an hour drive away. And then I have to drive that hour back. And just to do that drive specifically for tobacco, that'd be, I don't know, like it'd kind of be a waste. Like usually we go there and when we get tobacco, like it's in tandem with some other task, like getting groceries or like um, auto mechanic stuff or hospital visits, like appointed hospital visits. But to go there just for tobacco, it just seems like a long way just for like one little thing. If I was making a lot of money, like sure, I'd drive there in a heartbeat. Like if I had like a large amount of money in the bank and I didn't have so many like responsibilities to like do this, that, or the other. Oh, it's gonna be so good when I'm off probation, not having to constantly think about like, oh, what would probation think if I took this commission, or what would probation say if I like spent the night somewhere, or oh, before I like travel out of state, I better let probation know just in case I get stuck there. It's like this constant like double double thinking or second guessing myself before I do like almost anything in my life. Like any like make any major decision, I got to think like, oh, what would probation think? It just fucking sucks. Someday though, I will pray that that someday is someday soon. That I will be off of this bullshit. Melody says, that's some good gutsy. Thank you, love. Thank you, love, and thank you for everything you do for me. Life would be so much harder without you. Not just financially, like I'm not that shallow, because like every time you give me like extra money to do stuff with, like I feel guilty. But I appreciate you more for like the comfort and emotional support you give me, and that by far outweighs any amount of cash like anyone can donate. Just I appreciate your emotional support like so much more than anything anyone could ever do for me. Like you're like the best, most important person I have in my life right now. Don't don't ever forget that. Serious face, serious scruff face. Melody says, most welcome, Squish. And Melody says time. All right, sweet. That'll do it for today as far as the community service goes. I hope you enjoyed it. With the art going on and some of my rants about probation and my political views. If you enjoyed it, please follow, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. If you want to contribute to the continuation and production of more of these videos and other types of videos to come, please you can feel free to donate or contribute. The link is in the section below. It'll take you to my coffee page, and there you can donate any dollar amount. If you don't, that's cool, but if you do, that'd be fucking awesome, and I'd give you a shout out. Not that those are worth much, like a shout out is just a shout out. I don't know why people find that so valuable, but people do. I don't understand it, but I'll do it for you if you if you donate something, like if you're into that sort of thing, I guess. So, yeah. Until next time. Oh, and it's always like a pleasure interacting with all you people in chat. So I'd like to thank my lovely moderator as usual. Let's see, there was the ISO and a new face in the chat room who decided to say a few things is Purple Juice. Thanks for dropping by. Awesome chatting with you. And we shall check you all later. So until next time, this has been Johnson Black Horse. And I guess I'm out. Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. Bye.